Thank you, Rhea. Friends, here at Unity Church of Hawaii, we teach that as children and channels of the divine, as channels of God, we do not have to be locked in, bound by, tied to, or trapped by any undesirable circumstances or situations that we may encounter in life. We understand that here at Unity Church of Hawaii, we can change our circumstances by changing our mind, changing our attitudes, changing our self-image, and changing our self-definition. How many of you knew that? Just in case there's one here today who does not know. We do this by practicing what Paul talks about in his writings to the church in Colossae. He says we can change our circumstances by taking off the old mind, the old man and its deeds, and putting on the new mind. And when we read of man in biblical texts, we know that we're reading about mind. We put on the new mind that is made in the image and after the likeness of the divine. Friends, we understand here at Unity that when we dare to explore and excavate the depths of our mind, we will uncover and discover the endless potential and power of God in us, through us, and as us. Here's the good news, just in case you're wondering, where is he going? We all have the same power. It's the same power. No one gets any more of it than anyone else. But there are those who have used it. They recognize it. They know how to do, as Paul told Timothy, fan it into flame to have it work for them. This power that can change the world. And friends, I know that you're wondering, what is this power that Jack is talking about? I'm talking about none other than the power of Mojo. Say it with me. Mojo power. Come on, say it like you know something about it. Mojo power. Friends, there's no other human power that can match the power of Mojo. The ability, the potential to anchor heaven here on earth. Yes, impediments may come and try to delay our progress, try to disturb us temporarily, even lead us astray for a moment, but they cannot withstand the sustained pressure and energy of the power of Mojo. Today, thank you for the amen. Today's message, Mojo or Nojo, what are you working with? Is inspired by the writings of Marshall Goldsmith and Mark Ryder entitled Mojo, How to Get It, How to Keep It, and How to Get It Back if you lose it. So just in case there's one here today who feels that your mojo might not be working and you've lost your mojo, you've been looking for your mojo. In fact, I want us to get an understanding. There are some who think that they're working with mojo, but they're actually applying nojo. And we want to understand the difference between the two. In 1956, Ann Cole, an American R&B singer, gospel singer as well, recorded a song written by Preston Red Foster, an African-American musician. And in 1957, the singer, songwriter, and guitarist Muddy Waters popularized the song. Some of you might have heard it. Got My Mojo Working. Anybody ever heard of the song? Go on YouTube and check it out. Pardon? Oh, I can't sing. No. The lyrics are not appropriate. I'm just working with the title today, all right? As we consider Mojo or Nojo, what are you working with? Friends, it is a question that we're called to, two questions that I invite you to consider as we're moving through this Lenten season. The first question is, how is your mojo today? And the second question, is your mojo working? Friends, it's an interesting thing to be around someone who knows how to work that mojo. Things get really peculiar. You can see magic occur when you get with somebody who can work the mojo. And as we hold this in mind, we understand that mojo is a word that has many different meanings and different understandings. Mojo, originally referred to a folk belief in the supernatural powers, especially those who are coming from, the coastal region of the South, New Orleans and other areas. The folk belief in the supernatural powers of a voodoo charm, often in the form of a piece of cloth or a small patch. But in this context, listen closely, Mojo is the positive spirit towards what we are doing now that begins on the inside and radiates itself on the outside. Now, how many of you feel that you got some mojo? You got something on the inside that works. The positive spirit towards what you are doing now in your life that's so stirred up on the inside that it radiates, it's projected, it is reflected in everything outside of you. Mojo, my friends, is the power within us that causes the universe to respond favorably to what it is that we are working with and what we're desiring. Mojo plays a vital role in our pursuit of happiness and meaning because Mojo is about achieving two simple goals, and please catch these. Two simple goals. The first goal is to love what we are doing. The second goal, to show it. To love what you're doing now and to show it. If I was to take a poll, a survey, and ask the question, how many of you really love what you are doing in your life today? You love what's happening. You love where you are today. How many of you honestly could really raise your hand and say that I love it and I can show it? I'm showing it. Oh, that's good news. We're in good company. Now, just in case there's one lurking somewhere in the corner of this sacred space, this message might be for you. Mojo is at work the moment when we do something that is powerful, purposeful, and positive, friends, and that causes people around us to pay attention. Mojo has evidence. Mojo is not only that goes on the inside, there's evidence. Mojo brings evidence. There's proof. For many times we go around and we carry some information, some theories, but it's only theoretical. And unity used to be called, some of you might know this. In fact, the very first Unity church that I served, it was 3 months after I was ordained in 2001. I was 29 years of age. The very first church that I served was called Southside Unity Center of Practical Christianity. And Unity used to bear that title, Practical Christianity. It was more than theory. It was more than just concepts. Unity was unity because people believed that they needed to practice the principles. It was more than just regurgitating someone else's stuff. Unless Christ is born inside of us, though Christ be born 1,000 times. If Christ is not born in us, that image and likeness of the divine made flesh and revealed to us, then the soul is all forlorn. It's in a state of looking, of seeking, of being lost and confused. Mojo requires us to show evidence. It's one thing to say it, it's another thing to prove it. We can't only talk this talk, we got to walk this thing too. We live it. It shows up. And as we consider this, I don't know if you can tell, but I love what I do. If I didn't love it, I would stop doing it. I love what I do. And so who wrote the book, Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow? You do what you love. Jesus said, if you seek ye first the kingdom of goodness, the kingdom of God, that infinite potential and ability, the mojo within yourself, everything else will find its way to you. You will become a magnet, a mojo magnet. In fact, this is the month. Well, let's name month, March. March is the month of mojo. We are mojo magnets, attracting more and more good into our lives. In fact, mojo calls forth the mo better. I didn't say more. Say it with me, mo better into our lives. Our mojo is apparent when the Positive feelings toward what we are doing now come from inside of us, and they are evident to others around us. The essence of Mojo, friends, I know the time is going. I'm just going to take my time today. If you need to slip out, just go on and tiptoe out, but I'm going to finish this today. I couldn't finish it the other service. The essence of Mojo is when we are firing on all cylinders, and everyone around us can see it. Just like playing sports. You're in the game. You're firing. You got that mojo working. You're shooting and tossing or hitting, whatever you're doing, whatever sport you're playing. And everybody can see, listen, they've tapped into it. They are in the zone. It's working. The energy is working. And what happens when we work the mojo, we begin, and I love this quote from Ernest Holmes in his book, Science of Mind. Then as we're working the mojo, everything will begin to conspire with us. People will start showing up on your path. They will show up on your journey as innocent children, not knowing why they have come, but they've come to lend their resources, to lend their encouragement, to lend their support, to lend their help, to lend their aid, and at times to lend their money to help you do what is in your heart to do, all because you dare to step into your mojo. I'll ask once again, how is your mojo? And is your mojo working? Mojo is an expression of harmony, of the harmony or the lack of harmony between what we feel inside and what we are doing and what we show on the outside. It's one thing to get the feeling on the inside, to feel it on excitement on the inside, but it's another thing to show it on the outside. For instance, I love to see the response when I ask you to take a moment, just look at the person, give the person seated next to you a nice big smile. Now, some of you feel that you're smiling on the inside, but I'm looking at you. Your face is not smiling on the outside. On the inside, come on, let's try it again. Come on. Some of you got to tell your face, I'm smiling right now. All right, come on. I'm smiling on the inside. And that's how we go through life. We think that we're working. We got the feeling on the inside, but it's not showing up on the outside. And as we consider the definition once again in this context, mojo is that positive spirit toward what we are doing now. Not yesterday, not last year, not tomorrow. What we are doing now that starts on the inside and it radiates to the outside. If we sort of break down this definition, the first part, that positive spirit, which is unambiguous, it is distinct with clarity. It is the feeling of optimism and satisfaction that conveys both happiness and meaning, that positive feeling, positive spirit on the inside. There are a number of teachers, self-help teachers, New Thought teachers. Many of you have read Stephen Covey's book. You've been to Tony Robbins. Anybody ever been to Tony Robbins seminars? They are making a whole lot of money, big money. People paying $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a pop just to go hear the stuff that we teach every Sunday here. Every Sunday. And all they're telling us is to work with the positive attitude, cultivate, nurture the positive aspect of the soul. Get in there and begin to explore and nurture positive self-awareness, positive self-definition. And as we nurture that, it begins to show itself and express itself in every aspect of our life, world, and affairs. You all got it easy. You don't have to pay $25,000 to get it. You get it every Sunday. I'm going to raise the bar. And people pay $25, $30. You can't hate on them, because wherever we are is by right of consciousness. You are right where you are. I am right where I am by right of consciousness. If you're on the low end of the totem pole, you're there by right of consciousness. If you get promoted and elevated where everybody else should have been elevated, you didn't have the degrees, didn't have the credentials, didn't have the pedigrees, but you get elevated, you get there by right of consciousness. Consciousness, my friends, must be accommodated. Say this with me. Consciousness must be accommodated. Let's make it personal. My consciousness must be accommodated. Meaning that whatever I have a conscious awareness of, eventually, some way, somehow, I don't know how it's going to happen, who God will use in the process, but some way, somehow, the universe, the environment will begin to conform to accommodate the consciousness of that you have in your own soul. It says the first part, that positive spirit. Positive spirit is a positive attitude. Tony and all of these others are teaching people how to nurture and cultivate a positive attitude. It dictates our response to the present and determines the quality of our future. A positive spirit, a positive attitude is a manner of acting and speaking and thinking that shows our character to be fully assured and absolutely confident in the presence and power of God. That's a positive spirit. And friends, when you get around somebody with that full confidence and assurance, magic will happen. They become like a tree planted by the waters. And regardless of how hard the wind blows and how tumultuous the waters might become, they will not be moved because they're rooted. They're rooted in the awareness that God is all there is nothing else. And in this consciousness, we move to the next phase of this definition. Positive spirit towards what we are doing now focuses us on the fact that we are dealing with an activity, an individual, a task in the moment. One of the most discouraging things about being in new relationships, and I don't know who it is in here that you're in a new relationship, with a person still talking about their previous relationship, their ex. Oh, he or she was this, they did that, they did everything right. You know, they always had the right answer, they did everything the right way. But what about now? And if it was so right, why aren't you there? Being present towards what we are doing now calls us to be present, to be with, to be available to the task, the activity, the people, the person at hand. That starts on the inside. This is a reminder that Mojo is an exercise of self-assessment, and that's what we're in Lent. This is a time of self-assessment. Only you know how you're really feeling. Only I know how I'm really feeling. And then it radiates to the outside. This is the nod towards cause and effect, that whatever is happening on the inside will ultimately reflect itself on the outside. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, "What you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you are saying." Reminds me of the lady who was upset that her husband no longer told her that he loved her. She was feeling as though the magic in their marriage and the thrill had left, or the thrill was gone. So she goes to her husband one day and she says, "Honey, why don't you tell me that you love me anymore?" And the husband says to her, "Darling, I told you that I loved you 45 years ago when we got married. And if I change my mind, I will tell you." Friends, people, very quickly. People with Mojo are on the upper progressive stride of life. They inspire, and they are inspired by their surroundings. They are always seeking the answer, the solution, rather than the problem. They look for the good in the situation. They expect things to work out. They are present in life. In the same book, the authors give an opposite word, a word opposite to Mojo, and they call it Nojo. Let's say it. Nojo. Nojo is rooted in negativity, rooted in ignorance, rooted in the lower vibrations of life. People with Nojo are those who have a negative spirit, a negative attitude, a negative disposition towards what they are doing now that starts on the inside and it radiates or it's projected on the outside. And I'm sure we all might know at least one person working with the Nojo. People with Nojo are bored and frustrated on their jobs. People with Nojo are confused about the dark tunnel their career, relationship, and life has fallen into. They are quick to share their bitterness and displeasure with the world. Anybody who will listen, people with Nojo will tell you everything that's going on wrong in their life. They start many projects but complete none. People with Nojo are at times a drag to be around. The word Nojo describes them very well. No joy. Two very differentiating qualities. As I'm closing, I'm going to close. I will close my Mojo and take it home. The difference between people with mojo and those with nojo, listen very quickly. Mojo people take responsibility. Nojo people play the victim. Mojo people move forward. Nojo people march in place. Mojo people run the extra mile. Nojo people are satisfied with the bare minimum. Mojo people love doing it. Nojo people feel obligated to do it. Mojo people appreciates opportunities. Nojo people tolerate requirements. Mojo people make the best of it. Nojo people endure it. Mojo people are inspirational. Nojo people are painful to be around. Mojo people are grateful. Nojo people are resentful. Mojo people are curious. Nojo people are uninterested. Mojo people are caring. Nojo people are indifferent. Mojo people have a zest for life. Nojo people are zombie-like. Mojo people are awake. Nojo people are asleep. Mojo people got more joy. Nojo people has no joy. Which are you? Which are you? What are you working with? Mojo or Nojo? What you working with? Huh? If you've been working with some Nojo, trade it in and get you some Mojo and let that Mojo get to working on the inside. We had a way of, in the South, anytime we wanted to raise the vibration of Mojo, you know, when things are going through, you need a raid. Come on, you need some Mojo to get through some difficult times. You need Mojo to press your way through depression and get your way through despair and that darkness of life. You need some Mojo to get the money into your pocket so you can pay your bills. You need some Mojo, baby. And when we needed it, the old mothers at the church would get together. They start stirring the energy. As Paul says, Paul told Timothy, you got to stir up the gifts of God that's already inside of you. Who wants some Mojo today? Come on, stand to your feet. You want more Mojo? Get on your feet. Now put your hands together. Come on, stir up the energy. We want Mojo. It will heal your body. It will heal the relationship. Come on. Then they'll start singing. Something on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. Something on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. Come on, stir it up. I've got something on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. Oh, what a change in my life. Come on, get that Mojo. I've got Mojo on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. I've got Mojo on the inside and it's working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. I've got Mojo on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. Oh, what a change in my life. Come on, get your Mojo today. Oh, something on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. We've got something on the inside and it's working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. I've got something on the inside, working on the outside. Oh, what a change in my life. Oh, what a change in my life. Oh, what a change. One more time. Oh, what a change. Oh, what a change in my life. God bless you. Work that Mojo. It works if you work it.